The Israeli government is killing innocent women and children in Palestine, but somehow, according to the media, both sides are the issue. That's like saying during the slave rebellions, there was violence on both sides because the slaves were fighting for their freedom.
Keep it 100, I be feeling like Campbell soup over white rice, baked chicken with the skin on, yeah, Lowry's with black pepper, I'm fully seasoned with laughter.
What's good, 100%ers? It's your boy Dre, and welcome to my channel, Keep It 100 Dre. Today what we're going to talk about is Israel committing a genocide against Palestinians, and we're going to talk about how terribly the media is covering it. Israel is illegally evicting Palestinians living in East Jerusalem. They're committing a US-aided genocide against the Palestinians. And Palestinians, they live in an apartheid state. The count of dead Palestinians after the airstrike in Gaza done by the Israeli government so far is 70 people, including at least 16 children, and more than 300 Palestinians were injured in the attack. Take a look at the video.
ايش بحكي جريمه هذه، ايش جريمه هذه؟ ناس مدنيه مرة في قلبها، مرة واولادها في قلبها، وواحد حلاق وواحد واعي، هل انقصفوا؟ لا انقصف مقاوم ولا انقصف واحد مسؤول، احنا مدنيين نايمين في دورنا.
This is a clear violation of international law, and it's not up for debate. In my last video, I was looking for articles on the story to include in my video, the video about Andrew Yang being a supporter of a genocidal maniac. I was looking for articles on the story to put in my video, but I didn't want to include any of those articles because pretty much all of the articles made the both sides argument, saying there's violence happening on both sides. You can take a look at the headlines of these articles to see that. The Israeli government is killing innocent women and children in Palestine, but somehow, according to the media, both sides are the issue. That's like saying during the slave rebellions, there was violence on both sides because the slaves were fighting for their freedom. A Palestinian who is dealing with this, he was interviewed on CNN, and they tried to pull the both sides BS as well. Take a look at the video.
What would you like from the international community? There has been a response by many to the situation your family is in right now. What would you like to hear, especially from the new Biden administration?
Well, I think the myths of self-defense and both sides are growing more and more penetrable. People are being able to see through these myths and call an occupation for what it is and call an aggressor for what it is. And this is what we're going under, where we're facing in Sheikh Jarrah, in Jerusalem, in the Gaza Strip, in Lid, is colonial violence. And it's only allowed because both the state and the settlers know they have impunity. The settlers are emboldened by an apartheid state that allows them to open carry in Palestinian neighborhoods. And the state is emboldened by an international community that refuses to call it out for what it is, that allows it to intentionally target civilian neighborhoods in the Gaza Strip and massacre 24 Palestinians, including 9 children, without facing any consequences. I don't expect much of the Biden administration, knowing that Ned Price refused to even condemn the killing of 9 Palestinian children tells me all I need to know. Obviously, I would like the international community to hold Israel accountable under international law, but I also hope free people of the world do their part to push their governments.
Do you support the protests, the violent protests that have erupted in solidarity with you and other families in your position right now?
Do you support the violent dispossession of me and my family?
I'm just asking if you support the protests that are taking place in support of your family.
I support popular protests taking place against ethnic cleansing, yes.
Thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us. Mohammed El-Kurd, thank you very much.
Thank you.
His comeback was absolutely great. He said, "Do you support the violent disposition of me and my family?" That was such a great comeback. Just so you know, that guy, he was later arrested by the Israeli government for his interview. So I really hope and pray that he's safe, pray for his family that he's safe, but we don't know. In all likelihood, they're torturing him, or possibly they may have killed him. And there's going to be no retribution because the U.S. government supports the Israeli government in all of their actions. Their violation of human rights, their clear violation of human rights. So this guy was arrested by the Israeli government for speaking the truth. As we all know, Andrew Yang, he's a pro-genocidal maniac. He's running for the mayor of New York City. And after his dumb tweet, a new poll came out that has Andrew Yang back in the lead for the New York mayoral race. So it looks like there's no retribution for this pro-genocidal maniac. And that's a really common theme. No retribution when these politicians take a pro-genocidal position. Let me show you some more examples. Take a look at this video.
My national security staff and defense staff has been in constant contact with their counterparts in the Middle East, not just with the Israelis, but also with everyone from the Egyptians to the Saudis to the Emiratis, etc. And I had a conversation with Bibi Netanyahu not too long ago. I'll be putting out a statement very shortly on that. My expectation and hope is that this will be closing down sooner than later. But Israel has a right to defend itself when you have thousands of rockets flying into your territory. But I had a conversation for a while with the Prime Minister of Israel, and I think that my hope is that we'll see this coming to conclusion sooner than later. Thank you.
Joe Biden is pretending Israel is defending themselves against the Palestinians when they're the aggressors in the attack. Again, there's no retribution because if he runs again, it's very likely he's going to be reelected. No retribution for his pro-genocidal remarks, comments. And people mad about Joe Biden, Andrew Yang's comments and being rightfully critical of them will be called Trump supporters. So you're saying Trump supporters are against genocide? This wasn't the liberal position just a little while ago. People who are against the genocide of the Palestinian people, many of them support the BDS movement, the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanction movement. As of right now, there are 27 states that have anti-BDS laws on the books. This is a clear violation of the First Amendment. The lawmakers who wrote and enacted those bills, they're also clearly pro-genocidal maniacs. But yet again, there will be no retribution for those lawmakers, and they'll very likely be reelected. So the media, the state and local lawmakers, most of the senators in the country, Democrats and Republicans, and your favorite president, whether it's Obama, Donald Trump, or Joe Biden, they're all pro-genocidal maniacs. And it's because of oil money. We talk a lot about Russia and China influencing American politics, but there's no bigger influence on our politics than the Israeli lobby. With anti-BDS laws affecting 78% of the population, it's extremely clear which country has the biggest influence on our politics. That's a massive problem, and I highly doubt the Biden administration will do anything about it, or any administration in their future. So that's all I gotta say for this video. I really appreciate you watching the video. If you like the content, like and subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications so you know when I post videos in the future. But I gotta leave you with one more thing before the video is over, and that's the word of the day. The word of the day for today is retribution. Retribution is spelled R-E-T-R-I-B-U-T-I-O-N. The definition of retribution is punishment inflicted on someone as vengeance for a wrongful or criminal act. So now I will attempt to use retribution in a sentence. There must be some form of retribution when these politicians support a clear genocide of the Palestinian people. We cannot continuously elect them into office. We got to get them out. Vote for someone who is not a pro-genocidal maniac. Hopefully I use that in the sentence correctly. So again, if you like the content, like and subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications so you know when I post videos in the future, and use retribution in the comment section below so I know you watch the video to the end. Again, I really appreciate you watching the video. 100%. Peace.
Almost all the media offices are in this tower, along with Al Jawhara Tower, which was directly targeted yesterday. As you can hear now, the raids are directly targeting the tower. Just a while ago as well. I'm sorry again. Oh my God, yes, I need to go down. If you can hear me, I can't. Oh my God. We're going to direct the camera now towards the explosions. Can you hear me? Yes, I've directed the camera now towards the explosion. This is a Shruk tower that has been brought down, as you can see. I was standing right opposite to it when I was talking to you. The destruction is massive. This is one of the biggest buildings. It's the building has not fallen yet. It has not fallen yet, which means that more rockets right now will be fired towards it.
Well, I've been stacking up. Nah, really that ain't accurate, cause I just spent my whole damn advance in the past couple months just to compensate for times we ain't have enough. Ooh.